Alright, so putting a bling on it.
Hey Kyle, hey Robin, hey everybody else, welcome to the round table.
Hey Rhiannon, Robin, Kyle.
Hi Kyle, hi Rhiannon, hi Spoons, hi Meeples.
Hi everyone, it's Nicole here. I Heart Museums on Twitter.
Hello, Robin and Rhiannon.
This month we're going to be talking about pimping out your games. What do you do to give them a little something extra special to make your gaming experience all that more enjoyable?
I haven't really got a lot of blinged out games. What I do like is cool alternative art, I guess, if that counts. A friend of ours did this amazing fairy tale alt art for Love Letter. It's amazing. It's just the cards, tarot-sized cards, and they're amazing.
As far as Japanese games go, a lot of Japanese games have already pretty nice components that there's not a lot of pimping out you can do aside from, turning them into wood or getting, the ones you would normally get for other board games such as like plastic metal coins, other stuff. So for example, here's the new version of Love Letter. It's already sleeved because I've sleeved it, but it comes with full art cards and nice cardboard and pretty good size components. Comes with a nice first player icon, and they've taken care of what nice things to put in there. They've also released the Kenny Moore edition, which have different art and a nice little wallet that you can get for Love Letter. There.
Christy C. Marie, a Parks and Rec re-theme of Love Letter sounds phenomenal. If there's a print and play for that anywhere, I will print it and play it like that day.
I would love to be able to make some little bits, I guess, for tokens of affection for Love Letter, the regular version. Actually making little tokens of affection like a teddy bear or a box of chocolates, a bunch of flowers, a bottle of wine or something like that.
There is also one thing I want to do, which is there's this guy out there, he goes by the name of Hobold, and he does little clay figures for games that you can replace stuff with.
What's that? Custom clay figures? Guess who makes those? This lady. I make them out of Fimo, and this little guy is Noah. I'll put that closer so you can see him. That's Noah from the game Noah. I also make guides for Divonair. Everybody gets a player card, and so this is one of the player cards. So the person who is that guy would then put these people on the different little bidding areas instead of just like their ring markers. And I thought about just making rings, but I was like, how much more fun would it be to make like the little people, like the characters?
As far as stuff that we've done for our games, we have this cool Haba Crow, and he's our stand-in start player marker. So whenever we have a game that has a need to mark a start player, we use the Wizard Crow. And you're not the start player, you are the Wizard Crow. So that's probably very specific to us, but it's cool to have a specific start player marker. It's just a fun gamery thing to do.
Not as fancy as your Haba Crow there, Nicole, which I love and will steal from you if I ever see it. I made this guy, and so it's actually on the cover of the box, and I can't remember if it is the first player marker or just the thing that you get like when you have a special power. I think we use it for first player marker, but it's been a while since I played this game. It's a good game. I should play it more, just like so many.
The other thing, wait for it, in my copy of goo.gl, the game has you be a Wolverine, and most of them look like these little plastic weird bear thingies. I wanted to actually be Wolverine while playing goo.gl. So this is my player marker when I play goo.gl, which is a little preposterous.
So I just recently started playing D&D and now also Pathfinder, and one of the things I talked about in my video from the week was that painting, and that you could paint miniatures, and the 3D miniatures are really cool, and they come in some games like Mice and Mystics, Robin, you pointed out, Spectre Ops. So some games give you these nice components that you can then take to another level and customize, and I think that's really great. But if you're looking for something a little different, the guys at Daft Concepts sent these. These are little laser etched wooden things, figurines, and you could use them for all sorts of things. You could use them for first player markers. You could use them as an alternative to a 3D mini if you were looking for something a little different. They come with these bases that you can slide status tokens on. So if you're like -7 health or +4 strength, or you're slow, or you're stunned. They have little tokens that go actually right in there. They smell good. They do. They smell like burnt wood. It's delicious.
Christy C. Marie, Unicorn Poet. Just add unicorn poo to every single game. Firefly needs it. Libertalia needs it. Absolutely.
Custom inserts.
First one is Corona. That sound scares me. The inserts. These are the wooden ones. Comes right out and has all the pieces. Then the other one doesn't come out. Got like all the tiles in it and all that good stuff.
So my favorite thing from this insert are these, whoa, almost fell, notches right there. So there's 2 notches on this Caverna insert, and what that actually does is it holds one of the boards right there, just like that. That's perfect, and that kind of acts like a lid for all the cool stuff, and 3 of them can go up to that notch right there, and that's perfect. There. So you put this back in the box, stack everything on top of it, nicely of course, not just like throw it all in there, and then you can close the box. Where is it? And that's perfect because that notch and that fit for the player board acts like a lid. Then you can actually store this sideways, and since you can store it sideways, you know, for those people who store it vertically on their shelves, that's perfect.
So as you can see here, we've got first up Targi, a small 2-player game from Z-Man Games. Take the lid off. We've got the rule book that fits in there nice and tightly, and here we have the insert. As you can see, it fits very tight up to the edges of the box.
I do make my own inserts, and they're not for sale, they're just, you know, for me. And Robin mentioned that there's a good tutorial at the Order of Gamers, and that's actually where I learned how to make my inserts. So here's mine for Dead of Winter. And this is how I pinned it out. This is a lid, and it's for zombies here, humans here, and objectives and people here. The rest are split into here, and they're all sleeved, and of course, a desiccant. Aside from foam core inserts, I've also purchased a couple of laser cut wooden inserts, and these are by far fantastic. I have a foam core insert for Suburbia, but I promptly trashed it as soon as I built these, and these arrived yesterday, and I built them the same day, and this one's for Suburbia, right there. Beautiful. And comes with a nice little box for coins there. It has a lid, and has all the other stuff cool there, and it fits the base game in the current expansion, and it should fit the next expansion because it's only 50 tiles, and 50 tiles can easily fit in here.
If you would all remember last year, I put together this organizer on the riverbank with my keys from Broken Token. This is the old one. They have a new one that accommodates all the expansions, including the Babel one, and that one's obviously much more involved than this.
One of the latest additions to Robert Searing's website, inserthere.me, is for the board game Scoville. Now you will notice here that I still have some components bagged up, and that's because I like to keep all my components for each player at the start of the game bagged separately, so I can just hand off a bag to a player and they're ready to go. What's great about these inserts is that he's made them compartmentalized such that you can actually lift out various parts of them like this and have them ready on your game board. So for example, the tray with the peppers here, lift them out, place them on the table, and bang, you're ready to go.
I have one from Rob Searing. I got mine for All Creatures Big and Small, which is a game that I actually love. It's one of my favorite 2-player games, but it's nice. It's a little organizer. It's compact. I don't think I have it arranged at all how he arranges it, but that's okay.
There it is. Let me show you guys something really cool. And then I saw this. Imperial Assault has about a gajillion components. If you can see, like, there's a place for all your dice. Like, these little guys are removable. You know, you store more stuff under there. Let me see if I can get the whole thing out, because it actually gives you somewhere to store all of your tiles effectively and all of your models and stuff. Absolutely fantastic. It has made me want to bust the game out more, knowing that I don't have to, you know, fight with it when I want to take everything out of the box or put it back in. That's another way that bullion goes a real long way.
Finally, the last one I have to show you is for Imperial Settlers. And what you'll notice here, I've also got the first expansion in here. and I've also got some playtesting cards in here as well. I won't be showing you those. First of all, we've got the separate boxes here for the Stone Tree apples, and Meeples. Room for the cards here, first player marker and point trackers and round trackers. In here I've got the money, extra component parts and Egyptian tokens, the defense tokens and the raise tokens, faction boards, and these black boxes here are basically place to store your faction deck.
I remember seeing Robin's video. He talked about cardboard inserts, or like cardboard dividers, and since I thought of that, I remember he sent me this game since I asked him to buy it, because you can only get this in Dutch, it seems. I asked him to get this, and I actually made a nice little cardboard insert for it here, a cardboard divider. So you can see here it's made of chipboard, pretty thick, and I used that to divide up the cards.
It looks like Cute Usagi, Megan Naxer, is talking about Plano boxes. Plano boxes have have kind of become a ubiquitous symbol of blinging out your stuff, at least, you know, in my local gaming community. And I really like to see that that has expanded.
Kyle, you just mentioned that someone mentioned Plano boxes. There aren't very many games that I will use Plano boxes for anymore, because they're just, sometimes the inserts are good, sometimes they're not, sometimes like just the Plano makes it too heavy or you can't fit it in the way you want it. Shipyard is one of those games that I use Plano boxes for. It's a really good game if you haven't played it.
The thing that she mentions that is most exciting to me, and something that I've wanted to do but haven't, is custom tuck boxes. She said she's done it for Ascension, Seven Wonders.
Another thing you can do to pimp out your games, is, well, not really pimp out, but let's say primp your games, is to throw desiccants in there. Desiccants absorb moisture and prevent a lot of cardboard issues such as warping. Just buy a bag of them, throw them in there. Last for a while.
This is kind of ironic because I don't sleeve, but I do laminate. Laminating is a simple, easy-ish way to kind of customize your games. Like, this is the player mat. I know, like I said, I don't know if you played it, but all your little pieces go in here, and there's a key that kind of tells you what to do. But anyway, I do it for cards like XVAWFf that are used often. I don't know.
The thing I usually do to pimp out my games are sleeves. Sleeves are very plentiful here in Japan, given the popularity of card games, Magic the Gathering, our own proprietary card games, and arcade card games. Fortunately for me, for my copy of One Night Ultimate Werewolf, those arcade card sleeves are perfect for these tiles. So we have that there, so you can see they're perfect there.
To the deck box, and I got all my cards with sleeves as well.
And then I also have these. I use these a lot for many of my card games. This is a mystery tape, or fushigi tape. In the US, you can get it as Hugo's Amazing Tape, and it's clear in the US, not white. And it's a kind of tape that only sticks to itself, which is very useful for card games and things. That's better than rubber bands.
Jason Lees, who I don't think submitted something last time, so welcome to the Community Roundtable, Jason. Had a really good suggestion. It's not something that I thought about. Basically doing the entire thing on a budget, going to Joann Fabrics. He said he found like tokens for Love Letter, shiny plastic pirate coins, stuff like that. And then Party City would also be a good one. I'll hit up the Dollar Tree every now and again. The Dollar Tree has really good, like, tiny little boxes for storage.
Japan has no shortage of things you can get at the 100 yen store, like small containers and all that cool stuff. My favorite thing you can get from the 100 yen store, sorry about that, other than are bead containers. You can grab that for tokens, and postcard boxes. These are boxes where you just keep postcards, because here in Japan postcards are very popular in New Year's and all that stuff. So postcard boxes holds a lot of tile games. So this is for Ginkopolis, the expansion, and I have another one in the box here for the base game. And we have little containers for player pieces.
A good suggestion is anywhere where there's a pound store or dollar store or whatever the local denomination is. Normally stores like that have items which are extremely cheap, and a lot of them also stock things like dice. Hobby stores. There are various ones local to me here where I go and I look for things that in areas where I might not normally look. So, for example, in Hobbycraft in the UK, I went to the knitting section and I found these. These are knitting needle counters, and normally you slip them on the end of your needles, and you can manually adjust the numbers here to count up and down, as you can see. So it goes basically from 0 to 99. They are great if you need counters on your table to remember points or life scores or something like that. A really, really good way of keeping track of scores. And nice, neat and compact, so they easily fit in boxes. Also haberdasheries and things like that. Again, knitting needle stores.
So looks like Geek Cha-Cha Conchetta was just asking for some ideas. What are things we can do with like household items, stuff that you don't necessarily need to go out and buy?
I would like to tell you that what I'm about to show you, I bought for condiment serving and or baking originally, but I didn't. I bought them for games, but they could be used for all those kitchen things, because that's actually what they're supposed to be used for. But I got these little colorful bowls that are all different colors, and because I have crazy OCD, I would have to put any kind of bit that match these colors in those bowls, or I would just go nuts. I wouldn't be able to focus. Another kind you can find are glass ones, and these are 2 different sizes, and they're nice. They're nice, obviously, because you can see through them. So if you had bits, like, you know, sometimes the status things, I actually use these a lot for Arkham Horror because there's a million pieces to that game, and this way you can see through them. So you're like, oh, there's where my clue tokens are, and that's where my sanity brain piece is. There's a stupid elder sign I never get. So there's those. There's also, if you didn't want to use glass or plastic for some reason, or if you happen to be a baker and you had silicone cupcake holders laying around, you could use those. I've also seen rectangular ones and square ones, which totally make me jealous, both from a baking perspective, because I love to bake, but also from a gaming perspective, because, you know, these are nice, but they're circular, and sometimes it'd just be nice to have a different shape on the board.
For me, repurposed Tupperware goes a long way.
Kyle, in your video 2 weeks ago, you mentioned soundtracks, and nobody mentioned that they listen to music when they play games, but I totally do that. If it's a Western themed game, my go-to soundtrack is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and the soundtrack is amazing. If it's a pirate game, I'll probably listen to Pirates of the Caribbean. If it's some kind of adventure game, then I'm going to probably listen to Conan. If it's, you know, some boring Euro game, if it's set in the Mediterranean, you play Mediterranean music. If you go into like Spotify or Pandora, you can just type Mediterranean things. Well, not things, but Mediterranean music. And you can get Mediterranean music. You know, you can listen to like the Gypsy King radio or whatever if you're looking for more of that Spanish flair, who, you know, they're also great. If you want to go crazy and listen to 90s rap, well, hey, you know, you might be playing some Cash and Guns too, whatever. I'm not going to judge.
Another piece of feedback we got via Twitter was from Alex Singh at BottomShelfBG, who said, "We do theme nights. Dress like Star Trek for space cadets, wear a suit to play ladies and gentlemen, etc." Yeah, this was something I mentioned in my video last week, and Kyle kind of touched on a bit with his theme music and food and stuff like that. Dressing up and having an entire evening of thematic related games. It's a really good way of having a great atmosphere, party atmosphere almost, when hosting a game night. Really exciting way of doing stuff like that.
All right, thanks.
See y'all later. Bye.
See you next time. Bye.
I would like to thank everybody for contributing this week.
It was a little less terrifying than the last time.
See you guys next week.